Hey everyone, this is the explanation for part 2 of the creating tessellations, where you have a shape that you are going to cut out and trace something a little bit more unique. So what you're going to need for this is a piece of paper, or if you have the thin cardboard that is on like granola bar boxes or something like that, that works really nicely for this too, because when it gets to tracing, it's a little bit easier to trace it. And so we're going to start by cutting it into a regular shape, meaning all sides are the same length. The easiest one to do is a square. So I'm going to cut this into a square, and then we will be back. Now, things you're going to need for this: scissors, tape if you have it, or something else to stick it together with. So I'm going to pause the recording here, get myself a square, and then we'll talk about what is going to happen next. So I have a square cut out here. Now, if you guys don't have paper, or if you have these at home, you might want to use sticky notes. Make a really great square. The only unfortunate thing is that it is sticky on one side, so that can be a little annoying. But if you can handle that, this is a really good way to get a square as well. To be honest with you, I just traced it so that mine wouldn't be super sticky. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this shape and I am going to change it using some of my transformations in order to do that. So I am going to maybe decide to cut a chunk of my shape off. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it out of here and I'm going to move it to this side, and I am going to tape it there. So I'm going to grab a little piece of tape here, and I am going to tape it, being careful to line up, because if I don't line it up properly, this is not going to work very well. So hold the tape over here, lines up nicely. So what I've done is I've changed my shape a little bit here, and maybe what I'll do is I'm also going to move a piece upwards. So maybe I'm going to do so I cut this shape out of here, and I'm going to just move it straight up and place it and tape it to the top. So I'm going to grab another piece of tape. I'm just going to tape it to the top. I don't know if you guys can hear, but they're playing basketball over there. All right. So I have created a new shape. Now, my challenge to you is that I would like you to try and make it look like a something. Mine does not look like a something, but that is my challenge to you. So once you have your shape made and you're like, yeah, I'm happy, this is good. If you've done it just on paper, this is a really good time to transfer it to cardboard, just that thin stuff if you have it. If not, that's fine. What you're going to do is we're going to go to your piece of paper and we're going to start tracing it. So I'm going to try and zoom this in a little bit. And I'm just going to write it down, or put this on the board, and I'm going to trace around the outside. So now, if you guys are doing this with a pencil, it's going to be a little bit more precise than me doing it on the board with a whiteboard marker. But more or less, I have my shape. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to then move my shape and trace it again so that it overlaps. And as I go through this process, I'm going to start creating a tessellation. So once you have traced it a bunch of times, you're going to eventually fill that page, and then you're going to color it. So maybe I think that my animal, maybe I have a bit of a crocodile here, where this is his eye, and I might add some teeth that are here, try and create it into a something. But more or less, as you guys are covering your entire page, you're going to end up with something that's going to look like this over and over again. So we have part one where you color in the squares the same, and then part two where you have a little bit more of a complex shape. And I'm challenging you to try and make it look like as something, whether it's a tree or an animal or some other object. Maybe you're going to make a computer, I don't know. I challenge you to try and make it something unique, but that is part two. If you still have questions, please send me a message and we will try and fix those up.